I quite understand that we men are the leaders of home. God has made us to be the head of any family. Everywhere, God has made us to be the head. So there are times that sometimes we do things and we need quick answers. But one of the mistakes we make is that we don't really allow our wives, our spouses to understand what we are actually doing. And that is why sometimes it is difficult for God to answer our prayers speedily. There is no project you're trying to carry out, without involving your wife, without having her blessings. Anytime you feel that you need a specific breakthrough in life and you have been praying, you've been talking to God about all these things, make sure that you involve your wife, your spouse to pray along with you, because women generally, whatever they say does really come to pass in a way. Let me give you the story of this guy. This guy, a very influential guy in Jewish history back then. He was the king's favorite. The king really favored him. And as a matter of fact, there was a time he was having a plan. He planned it such that his plan was actually materializing to a certain extent. Along the line, he was carrying his wife along. There was a minor mistake that he made. The name of the wife was Zeresh. So the wife told him, this mistake you have made actually will cost you your life. The wife said so, and it came to pass. You can find that story in Esther chapter 6. Women generally, they have these spiritual gifts that whatever they say does really come to pass. So when your wife is saying that, let us do it this way, I know that this is what you have in mind, but let's do it this way. Always prayerfully make sure that both of you do have an agreement in a way. When a woman prays for you, it's usually stirs God, into action in most cases. Because when women pray, when they pray, especially from their hearts, the results are always very manifold. There was a time some years back I was looking for a job. I was not married, but I was really looking for a job, really. So I started praying and I started applying here and there. There was a time I was invited for an interview. In that interview session, 30 people were invited and 2 people were going to be selected. Oh, you could see the ratio. So I started praying and I told the lady I was going to marry then. And both of us started praying. We started praying. So when I came for the interview and I met about 30 people, all together, I was the first person to be interviewed. So I left for home, and weeks after weeks, I did not hear from them again. So I forgot about it and I lost hope completely. But then one thing I was sure of was when I came back from that interview, I told my fiancée then that, look, I met a lot of people. People came and, professionals who were more qualified. So the lady told me, she said, even if it is just one person they're going to pick, you will be the one. And if they're going to pick like 2, you will be one of them. That utterance actually came to pass, because as a matter of fact, something happened along the line. The moment that woman prayed, something actually happened. Later, I was invited to come and pick my employment letter. It's a miracle up to today. The woman just said that, don't worry, even if they are going to select 2 people, you will be one of them. And if they had already selected their candidates, one of them will not be picked. And it came to pass. So women, generally, you have this power to pray for your husband, and whatever you say goes a long way to shaping the future of your children, the future of your home. And that's why I always encourage women, please always pray for your husband. Always pray for your husband. And if you don't support your husband in one way or the other, you will know that the success will definitely not be in your favor, not be in his favor. So as much as God has given us the kingship, the leadership, we also need to respect the prayers of these women. Let's encourage them to keep praying for us. If we have decisions, if we have plans, let's continue to pray. Let's continue to carry them along so that they can also join us, because their prayers are always very powerful. So up to today, I have received the favor of God. at my workplace, always encourage your wife, always encourage your spouses to keep praying for you. Don't joke with their prayers.